Getting ready to go grocery shopping, following the new recommended guidelines. What's next?
Live happy, fun-loving, and carefree.
I'm not really going to wear this mask, this shield, to the grocery store. I just have it out to make a point. I bought this thing to wear when I used the string trimmer because when we first moved here, there was a lot of poison ivy. And when I'm out string trimming with the trimmer and things are flying all over the place, I didn't want to get poison ivy all over my face. So that's why I have this mask. You know, the thing is, and this isn't, I don't want this to be a discussion about what's going on right now today specifically. This is about what you can do to better your life, to live the life of your dreams, to live happy, fun-loving, and carefree. And this is a time that when we can all kind of recalibrate and think about what's going on in our lives and what we can do to make our lives better. Let me know what you think in the comments. So what I'm talking about is everybody's life has been turned upside down recently. The way we were living a few months ago, going through our normal routine, getting up in the morning, making our pot of coffee, doing our daily routine, has been all turned upside down. And people have been told, you know, you're essential, you're non-essential. Stay home, don't go to the gyms, don't go to church, don't sing, social distance, and all of these things that, you know, have been just thrown upon us. Don't wear a mask at first, then wear a mask. You know, now the newest recommendation that just came out is wear a shield, which actually makes sense because our eyes are membranes that things can get into. So, but the point is it's just moving the line in the sand, flattening the curve, and this, and it just seems like it's never going to end. But it's the perfect time for us to think about what we can do, what are we doing in our lives that are necessary, and what are we doing just because it's those things that we end up doing. For example, if you look around my yard, I haven't mowed the grass in a long time, and it's like knee high. But who cares? I mean, who made up the rule that grass has to be mowed like carpeting and it has to be perfect? I mean, my life's not going to be any better or any worse off if I don't mow the grass every single week or whenever it needs to be mowed. Another example, though, is right over here is one of our piles of firewood. And it really needs to be cut and split and chopped up and stacked, because if I don't do that, we're not going to have heat this winter. So that's an important task for me to do. And because of everything that's going on, honestly, I've been a little bit lazy this year. Again, I'm not mowing the lawn. I'm not cutting and stacking firewood. Ooh, bee. And, you know, and there's really no reason other than because we're so bombarded with so much information, it's easy to get stressed and overwhelmed, even though there's nothing that I can do about that. It's just, you know, it's like in the corner of the television or on the internet when you're on a social media platform. It's like they got a little counter that's counting everything that's bad that happens, and we can't get away from it. And it really doesn't affect my life. So I don't have to mow the lawn. I do need to stack the wood. What is going on in your life? Think about it, that you absolutely need to keep doing, and what have you been doing that is just busy crap that you don't need to do? You know, you're staying home, you're stressed because you're not going to work, your whole routine is thrown into a, you know, unknown cycle, and you don't know when the money's going to stop coming, if it's going to keep coming. Are you going to go back to work? Are you not going to go back to work? Are you even going to have a job to go to when it's time to go back? And then the other side is people that are essential. They're still going to work, and they're working harder than they've probably ever worked because life is so crazy, because some stores are essential and the stores that aren't, the essential stores got to pick up the slack, so they're working even harder, putting in more hours, and people are ugly because of everything that's going on and short-tempered, and so you're stressed, and it's just, you have to ask yourself, is this necessary? And that's why I use the example of mowing the lawn or stacking the firewood, is you have to decide the things that you're doing in your life, how many of them are mowing the lawn chores and how many of them are stacking the firewood chores. And just think about that. And do you need to stay in the city, or can you, move out to the country? It's just, do you want to be dependent on that system? Do you want to know that that paycheck is coming from the government, or do you want to be, more self-sufficient? Maybe it's having an apple tree in your yard. Maybe it's having some chickens or some guinea fowl, whatever. Sometimes the biggest and best opportunities happen to us when we're scared. You need to think about what's really going to make you happy in your life. So what I see happening is, because of everything that's going on right now, is we're going to be exponentially catapulted into dealing with this new technology. We've had the technology available, but we're slow to change. People don't like to change. We like what's familiar. But because of what's happening right now is, when everybody's staying at home, our kids not going to school, things like that, essential, non-essential, is I think we're going to see this exponential growth to, things like self-driving cars, more robots doing more things that we humans have been doing, because in order to social distance and in order to stay home, and just to make an example, do you need a human to flip burgers on a grill, or can a machine do that? Machines build cars almost from beginning to end now, and the technology is, again, it's been here for quite a while, but we're going to see it leapfrog and exponentially grow. So things that we're doing as jobs probably aren't even going to exist in the coming months and things like that. So we're always going to have to be dealing with that. And do you want to live in that kind of a life where you do something and then you may have to do something else and you may have to do something else? And again, it's just, we all get caught up in that hamster wheel of bigger houses and newer cars and nicer clothes and mowing your lawns. And it's just, is that really necessary? Or can you live a simpler, happier life and be independent? And it's up to you. You don't have to live my life, and I don't have to live your life. You might not need or even want a pond with dragonflies right in your front yard. I personally like to step back and do things the old-fashioned way. Not that we all have to live like Little House on the Prairie or the Waltons or things like that, but those are just the kinds of things in this world, and it adds a lot of stress, and it just makes us crazy. And so during this difficult time, think about the things that are really important to you, and where you want to be, and how technology is going to impact your life. And do you need to do more? Can you do less? What is going to make you happy? And we can all get along, whatever it is. People that, again, don't have to live the way that we're living. And that's another challenging thing today, because people that do one thing seem to be disagreeable about people that have the opposite opinion on that. And I just think that that's silly. We need to all get along, whatever our opinions are. And you need to do what makes you happy to live your life. So subscribe and watch another video. And hey, we'll all get through this together, because that's just the way we humans are. It all works out in the end.